Oh, no intro video.
No.
That's not right.
Did it just go straight? Are we live? Let me check.
Hero call, we hold the line. Answers you need, clear and fine. Experts talking truth in mind. This is the HVAC grapevine.
Man,
Yo,
if that was playing in the club, dude, it'd be a party. I'm just saying. Like that's a good beat.
bro, you killing me. Were you messing with me? I didn't hear the intro, and I was like, no.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks, man. I've forgotten how to
Yeah.
do everything. I got to relearn.
Need a little break, you know?
You know where my brain goes on that intro video right now? Like me and you are in that video fixing an air conditioner, but what if that's a heat pump? And then now where I live, everything's covered in snow, and all I can think about is, would I be wanting to work on that heat pump when the ground is covered in snow? I don't know.
Dude, I just saw a video. Who was it? It was, oh my goodness. We just had him on the show. Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy B.
Begley. Dude, it was covered. He's like taking video. It's like it looked like a Hallmark scene, bro. How you doing over there?
I don't know. How you doing? How you mom and them?
How your mom and them? How you doing? How's it snowing over there? Is it crazy?
It's freezing. It's absolutely freezing. So what are you climate? You're climate zone 2, right?
Bro, I'm sweating. It's 70, 80 degrees just like this morning.
I'm climate zone 6. Hell, I gotta look. I don't even know. To be honest, I think
I'm dose. I'm on the borderline of 1.
Let's bring in somebody in the middle, bro. Tim Stasio.
Oh,
man,
my man, Stasio.
climate zone are you in, bro?
3 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
I was in 4.
I mean, if we had somebody from Arizona or something, we'd have this whole thing covered right now.
Yeah, look, Arizona's easy. Just keep your outdoor coil clean.
yeah.
Condenser clean. Keep gas in the unit. Keep the condenser fan running. There's no such thing as
Yeah, just crack the
humidity
window.
there. Like, it doesn't get cold.
Yeah.
Come on.
I love it.
Everything there is easy.
Dude, let's all go to Arizona and start an HVAC business. I mean, come on, dry climate, 450 CFM per ton. You know,
If you
come
can
on.
make it here and where you're at, we can make it anywhere, man.
Forget about it.
I think we'd be broke, bro.
By the way, that intro song is an absolute banger.
It is a banger, dude.
I was dancing, man.
Hey, there. You know what I want to do? I want to send it to this. There's this guy
I love it.
He turns like songs into what he calls bangers. Have you ever seen this guy?
No.
Oh man, he's like, banger, and I don't know. He remakes songs with like AI, and he turns them into like R&B songs, and he's like,
Oh yeah, I have seen
banger.
it. Yeah, there's just
That's
some guys
awesome.
that do that.
We
He's
should let him
professor or
remake the
something.
song. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so Chris got the original. Then my brother, he remixed it and did I don't know. He does his magic on a computer, you know.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Props out to my brother Joe.
Yep. Where is Joe? We won't get into that, but
Yeah.
How's his mama and them?
how's his mama down? Tim, what, dude? I mean, dude, where's your coffee cup, bro? I mean,
Yeah, bro. Come on.
I
I
mean,
didn't, I
in
didn't
the
realize.
spirit of Tim Stasio.
Oh man, I didn't realize we were doing that. You got.
I'm one of your biggest fans, bro. I had to bring the coffee cup on, bro.
Yeah, I'll go get it, but we're alive.
All right.
so.
All right.
Dude, I know you made it big, bro. When my buddy, he's out of HVAC, right? He retired, he got out, and he goes, dude, you gotta watch this video. I'm gonna send it to you. I was like, it's Tim. I was like, oh.
Dude, I get recognized in like supply houses, and even I went back home to Greensboro, and I went to a
Nice.
baseball game back in the summer, and like 2 guys from a local company there like recognized me.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my god, dude. I was talking to him on a ride home from. I just got back from Bahamas doing a home performance job, and he's like, "Oh, dude, remember the video with the dude was insulating his suction line as an upgrade?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that one." The dude was insulating the suction line, Chris, as an upgrade.
for a homeowner,
And-
it's DIY. He wants your homeowner to take the lid off of a Goodman unit and expects him to put it back together. I mean, we're pros and we still can't do it.
Dude. And then the other one was he was telling me about, which was your recent one. I was dying. It was the guy with like the 2 fingers missing. He's pulling that train
That was a remake, yeah.
under the patio.
Yeah, under the patio.
Oh, dude, I love it.
So if you're new, well, if you maybe you're not new to the show, but maybe you haven't seen Tim's videos. What we're talking about is Tim has, Tim, it's everywhere, right? You put these videos on Instagram,
Facebook. I don't know, LinkedIn every now and then if I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But
How-
LinkedIn is all academic and
And you only got a few on YouTube, right?
yeah, just a few. I need to put more on there.
If you want a
Yeah.
good laugh, you should check them out. Tim, how would somebody find this video?
It's at Tim Stasio HVAC on Instagram. That's the best place to follow me. Everything
Right
I
here,
post
right
on
here, baby.
Instagram, there you go. Everything on Instagram goes to Facebook, but I'm not actually on Facebook because
Let me plug them.
it's a dumpster fire. So
So
I'm mostly if you comment on Instagram, I'll probably see it. If you comment on Facebook, I probably won't see it.
at Tim DeSantis.
Okay, Facebook. Yeah, dude, I'm commenting on Facebook trying to get you. It's ghost. I was like,
you
he's
gotta go to
ghosting me.
Instagram. I know you got to go to Instagram, man.
Instagram. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I threw it in the chat, man, in case anybody's
All right.
wondering once they find it.
Nice.
So, go watch those videos. They're funny, and you'll get the coffee mug joke.
Well, 99% chance whoever's watching this, they already seen his stuff.
Yeah. All right, so
Yeah. Absolutely.
Before we turn down the time clock, we got to jump into some topics here because this show's all about awareness, education, news. We kind of bundle it all together. And we decide what we want to speak on that day. So Tim, you reached out and you were like, "Hey, you know what? I kind of have a huge problem with," and I'm like, other than being in climate zone 3 and dealing with moisture, I'm not sure what is your. And you said there's a huge problem in our industry from design to install, right? Or implementation, or whatever we want to call execution. There's a lot of words we can call the practice of putting it all in and getting it all right.
Yeah, it's called jamokes everywhere. There's idiots everywhere.
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's man, we're gonna eat up a whole hour about this 100% because there's a bunch of different rabbit holes we can go down.
I could talk about this for 2 weeks.
I have my own point of view, but Tim, I want to hear your point of view.
That's right. Cut my mic.
So in my business, part of it is HVAC design, and so I work for homeowners, from builders, for HVAC installers. You get a job. I do the manual J, I do the manual S selection, and the manual D duct design. And I used to think, okay, that's the design process, right? That's what they tell us: manual J, then S, then D. You throw a little bit of manual T in there, okay, and then you've got a well-designed system. And then I got to thinking, that is actually not the full design, and just that information right there does not give the installer a turnkey installation. And
Seriously.
so I came up with my own turnkey installation, which takes it a step further. And I got to thinking there is a lot of disconnect between just doing those 3 things and actual implementation and controls. How do you link the design intent with what gets installed? I'll take for example, how do you know how to set up a thermostat properly? That's not covered in manual J, S, D, and T. What instructions do you give the installer? You're now expecting them to know how to set it up, and I don't know about you, but most installers, and I'm not trying to throw any shade here, but let's think about some of the installations we've come across in the field, which represents like a cross section of what HVAC installation is like. You got 2 guys that show up to a job. One's named Booger, the other one's named Cracker, and they sling some duct together. And do we really expect them at the end of this job, when they're tired and they're ready to go home, to sit there and set up thermostat correctly and try to figure it out and then set it up correctly?
Dude,
so
I mean,
many things
I didn't
like
even think about that. You're totally nailing it, dude. Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna vouch for Booger and Cracker for a second. So does Booger and Cracker, are they having to install a different name brand every other day? Because that matters. That's a heavy lift if you are.
That is.
right?
It is, man.
It is.
Like if I would be Cracker right now, okay, Cracker here, right? That would be a problem for me. If you told me today, I know why y'all are laughing, all right? Because I'm like moved to the north and I'm really white. This is the whitest Cracker you're gonna see.
Well, out of the three of us, you're the closest one to.
But all I'm gonna say is, if I put a Mitsubishi in today, a train system in tomorrow, and then give me another name brand, I'm gonna bomb something unless I've given ample
Right?
time to study the manual and control logic. And I will take that one step further. I just experienced this on a package unit at TEC. On a train, I bought a train heat pump package unit, 2 of them, installed them on the rooftop at TEC, light commercial equipment. And I will tell you right now, the low voltage control manual, 1, didn't get shipped with the equipment. 2, had to source it. I had to source the electrical part of that manual from a hyperlink that was buried in the installation manual. So then I pull down that manual. It doesn't have it. I had to call tech support. Straight up, had to call tech support.
Yeah.
And I was...
Did they hang up on you?
No, I just told the
They
guy, I'm
speak
like,
English?
hey, I want to do this. I'll go deeper if you want me to, but I'll give you the whole story. It's really embarrassing that I had to go to tech support for a 14 SEER heat pump dual fuel package unit, but I did because it had a Symbio control stat that I had never seen before.
Ooh, as a symbio. Okay. I gotcha.
The installation manual was from 3 tons to 25 tons, all lumped into one manual. And this
Absolutely. You got save papers, baby. You got to save the trees.
Well, the Symbio stat was like the PLC was covered and it had all these different settings, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm like, there's no fan curve chart. Like there's a fan curve chart, but you don't use it. You go to the Symbio stat to set the fan speed. It says, oh, there's speed taps. Nothing in the manual tells you where the speed taps are or where you get to them or anything. I mean,
It's tough.
It wasn't very clean at all.
It's tough, man. It is rough out there.
Oh, and get this. You're going to love this. It had a high fire, low fire gas valve. I did not want to run the high fire. I wanted to be able to stage it far away from each other. And I said, you know what? I don't even want to hit high fire because the auxiliary gas heat is way too big anyway. I said, I talked to tech support and I said, how do I get high fire to not fire unless it gets real bad? He goes, oh, you got to cut the wire. Excuse me? Like, I have to cut the wire? He goes, yeah, cut the high fire wire going to the gas valve. He goes, that's how you got to do it. I
It's
said,
like one of those 90s action movies where you got like
Right.
Arnold.
and I'm like,
You have to cut the wire.
Cut the
The
wire.
red wire, the blue wire.
Get in the chopper.
So I'm a little embarrassed, man, 'cause I'm like, you got this Symbio controller that seems like it could do anything under the sun,
Yeah.
but yet there's not a setting in that controller that can
Right.
Fire.
And you're cutting freaking wires. Right. Ridiculous.
range the delta of like coming.
But Tim, I mean, you're totally right, man. Like, I'll sell a unit for my buddy's company, right? Get everything set up, and depends on who's out there. Can they set up a TEM6 air handler with an 824 thermostat? Can they do communicating equipment? Like
Phone modules. You know. Now let's zoom out past just the HVAC unit. What if you're doing a high performance home and you have an ERV and a dehumidifier?
right.
Mike, just for clarity, your mic to me, Tim, is a little low. I just want to see if you could turn it up.
There. A
Maybe bring it closer to you.
Oh,
There
bring
you
it
go.
close.
There. How about this? Can I turn up my volume like this?
Woo!
There you go.
All right.
Yep. I just want to
Okay.
make sure I can hear you. Okay.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I
Mic
mean,
check.
let's zoom out past the HVAC unit, ERVs, dehumidifiers, makeup air.
Right.
How do you set that up? How do you make sure that it's going to be balanced with the kitchen exhaust?
Yeah.
All these things have to work together. We talk about a house as a system, and then it doesn't get to the installer what the design intent is. And when you think about commercial jobs, they come with books with specs. They come with sequence of operations. A big job, like a big commercial job as a commissioning agent, he's going to make sure that the design intent is actually being implemented. He's going to verify all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so we have a bunch of houses where equipment and controls have been installed. We don't know whether they've been wired up correctly or whether they've been configured correctly in the menu. I mean, even your basic Honeywell T4, T6 stat has a bunch of menu options in there,
Yeah.
and that matters. And I think something else that we've talked about before, Chris. You've got people getting into the HVAC design world, like HERS raters, people from the energy community, and they don't know how to properly set these things up. They don't have that knowledge, so they know how to do a manual J. They figured out manual S, and they got software that can maybe do manual D, and they hand the client this design. And first of all, design probably doesn't work, but they haven't thought about all the other things that actually makes those components work together. And I think it's a problem. We need to make things more turnkey. If we're going to design a job, we need to design a job.
Yeah.
That's
why our episode on making all the inverters like an OBT was on a car. What was that? What do they call that again? That port where it's
onboard
Yeah.
OBD. Yeah.
OBD. Yeah. So you could just diagnose a unit. Everything's all on sync. Yeah, I don't need a train login to get in this app. I don't need a Daikin login for this.
How sweet would it be if you could send a USB with your design to someone, and the equipment was equipped for USB that had all of the design parameters,
right?
Controls preloaded, and you threw it in there and said, "Load this," and it just
wasn't
loaded
it
what the designer wanted. That'd be sweet.
Some Honeywell thermostats years ago. I haven't really done it much, but there was Honeywell thermostats where you could.
There was a time
set it up.
that was a thing.
Thermostat and upload the.
Yeah,
that's right.
From like a jump drive.
I do remember that. It's been a long time, but I do remember there was one that you could load the settings onto a stick and then move it to another one and preload. Yeah, that was a good idea.
I think there's a huge disconnect there, and so that's why I offer a full turnkey design where I include the installation manual of every piece of equipment and controls, and it's marked up with the designer notes. So the whole configuration menu, I'm telling you each line item how to set up that thermostat, which means that I have to understand how the thing is supposed to work in every mode, and I have to convey that clearly to the installer. Now, the installer could ball it up and throw it away, but at least I've done everything I can. And I'm even adding now some commissioning and balancing reports. This is what I want to see as a designer commissioning. Because let's say that the system doesn't work, and the client comes back to me, and is blaming me. How do I verify that it was actually installed correctly? I have to see those reports before I can even begin to help you figure out what's going on in the project, and that has happened.
Design it. Yeah,
it
design it, and then you're going to do what? The measure quick and do a true flow?
Something like I want to see measure quick commissioning, or something that even here's the problem that I have with a lot of the workflows that we see from some of the big players, and I'll call out measure quick. I'll call out ACA QI. Where in there does it say to test the float switch and make sure it actually shut the unit off? Where is that line item?
Good point.
In there?
Good point, bro. My neighbor could attest to that when I put his unit in. It just broken right from factory.
To start it up and then pump it down to make sure that the low pressure switch would actually take it out. I mean, where is that line item in the quality installation?
I like that. I like that. Damn.
And where's the line item that tells you to water test the drain to make sure that's not ran uphill? Because Booger and Cracker will run it uphill.
Yeah.
Where are those steps? And so we're concentrating on, did you do a manual S? And is it between 15 and 5% of the design? We're really concentrating on that minutia here, and some of the most basic things that is a quality installation that can be the difference between your ceiling falling out because you flooded because of the pan switch didn't take it out or not, are not even in these checklists. And so those are things that I feel obligated now, if I'm going to charge somebody, for a design, that's what's getting included in the turnkey. And so the difference between my price and just a JSD package and the full turnkey is 3 times as much, because I'm providing detailed drawings, how I actually want the ERV and the dehumidifier to be ducted into the air handler, and is it going to fit? I love
Yeah.
seeing some of these JSD designs that I get from somebody that's never done heating and air, and they jumped on right soft and they drew this duct system out, and I'm like, you're running ducts through a stairwell. Like you understand that's not constructible, right?
But
Or
Tim, they're an engineer though. They went to
no,
college. Come
they're
on,
not even an engineer sometimes. Sometimes
just
they're
cut a hole.
operators.
Cut a hole through. Oh, really? Oh, you
Yeah,
run
I mean,
it.
Herd Freighters
Wow,
spec designers now. And
that's true.
And here's the thing: we are here because we failed as contractors, because we got too many boogers and crackers out there that
Yeah.
aren't doing their job, and so somebody is stepping up. Here's Ty. Hey, Ty.
What's up, Banana Man?
Yeah, and that's another problem with Ty said. We're expecting these guys to do it in one day, which is
It's a
ridiculous.
lot, man. Right?
But-
It's sometimes it's too much, man.
We like to say when everything went. I've heard this a lot from people on the equipment side that are on the sales side of the equipment side. When I was a contractor, man, everything's 4 wires now. Communicates. The install time for wiring should have sped up. It's easier now, and I'm like,
Oh,
No.
sure.
absolutely not. I'm like, it's now way more time consuming
Yeah.
because now your inverter system has a ramp time that I have to wait for to get to and then find out when
Right.
it's there. And that is a time suck at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of things that come into play there, and we're not just talking about change outs. I'm talking about new installs on a new. I do a lot of high performance design, and what they're doing is they're paying me to design it. That way they can save money and find a local contractor that is just cheap to install it. And it's like, well, he still has to read my drawings and everything that I'm given in order to put this thing in right. And a lot of times that just doesn't happen.
It's tough, man. I
I
just
don't
ran into it with my last job, man. I sized up a 70-pint DHU, and there's an April Air, different size,
All right, I'm going to
different
challenge.
duct.
I'm going to challenge us. All right, because I got to tell a short story. Then I'm going to challenge us. Right before this show started, I spoke to someone on the phone who reached out to me, and I kind of know this individual a little bit. I'd call him an associate, right? Like tied to work a little bit. He's building a new construction house, and he's like, man, he goes, I know enough. Like he's not going to do it all himself. Like he needs help, and he's like, I know enough to know that I need a good designer. He's like, I have someone who will do the design for me for a really good deal. And I said, stop. No. I said, I looked at his plans and I said, this needs a next level designer. And he said, man, if I didn't know you, because I could give him some names, he's like, what would somebody do? And I said, that's a great question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, how does somebody vet a designer? Because let's be honest, if you hire
Yeah.
a designer and they do, let's just say a basic JS&D, like a spec house design, and threw it back at you as a homeowner, you'd got a design and you'd be like, whoa, this looks impressive. But how would you know if you got a good design or a very basic, crappy design that's probably not going to work very good? How do you know?
Exactly.
There should be a company. I mean, the Grapevine can do it, but there should be someone where you could pass it through and just see if there's fluff in there. I've called Alex Meany on jobs like this. I'm like, dude, I can't find a fluff. He goes, all right, look over there. Ventilation. I'm looking for people. There's always like 25 people in a load, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
Well, I did some design reviews for a company I worked with Jeremy Begley on. That's kind of how I got to know you.
Oh, yeah.
And so he started passing some like what would be the quality installation or what's the standard 310 design review.
Mm-hmm.
So I've
Yep.
gotten to know that 310 tool pretty well, and it's designed to catch some glaring things. Is your square footage close? Are your windows close? But there are a lot of things that I caught that are not in that standard 310. One thing is I was catching a bunch of guys putting in furnaces and ACs and putting a CFM, just whatever they came up with, and then putting a static pressure that furnace could never make that CFM at that static pressure. And that is not a line item on 310.
And is that because they're using a program that lets them pick any design flow, not really a true manual S? Like, hey, I'm going to write in the model number, and then I'm going to fill in this data like I looked it up, but I didn't look it up.
Well, they're using the big design program that we're all familiar with.
Okay.
They're using
Right.
wrong soft, and
But there's an auto pull feature right in that program that lets you get all that data, and then there's some
only
brands
for
that,
certain units.
That's
Only
right,
for
yeah.
Goodman's and Carrier and their sister brands will let
and
you
it
do
may
it.
or
Other than
may
that,
not be
Oh,
very-
really?
yeah,
you know?
yeah. And then, but even then, you can put. It doesn't have airflow data on there. It tells you what your airflow is. Let's say it pulls all that data from Carrier's website. It is not going to automatically put the static pressure or the blower speed tap that you need to achieve that. And so I was
Right.
pitching a bunch of stuff like this. I was like, dude, you're trying to throw in a 40,000 BTU furnace to run 1400 CFM at 0.3 static pressure. Never going to happen. Or you selected a coil that's got 0.35 static pressure all on its own, and you put 0.5 as the total static pressure. Like, it's never
Yeah.
going to work. So you catch stuff like that. So that's kind of another service I offer is I do design review. But this gets ridiculous. Like, this all happens because nobody knows how to do their job. Like, I'm having to do a design review because you had to hire a designer because your contractor who is legally obligated to like do all that design work is incompetent. Like, how many layers of incompetency are we trying to enforce here?
It's pretty thick.
Fix this stuff.
It's pretty freaking thick. I didn't know you did design review. That's good to know.
So I had this conversation with the individual earlier, and this is how I came up with this analogy. I'm pretty good with coming up with analogies, but I said, man, the problem is in a design, when you're doing a design, there's many opportunities to get off the roller coaster, right? Oh, I just did J and D or JSD off the roller coaster. Here you go. And then the homeowner's going to be none the wiser, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You go further. You go JSDT. Here's your design, right? Like there's multiple ways to just be like, I don't feel like doing that part. I'm going to give it some fluff. Boom. Here we go. Just like you said, static pressure airflow. Let me fluff this in real quick.
Yeah.
Here you go. Then you go install it, and now your static pressure is way high because that's the part you didn't really feel like looking up too hard.
Right.
It's like, I'm just going to set my friction rate at this and go with it. It'll work because I picked a pretty good coil. I'll be fine. But yeah, I don't know.
It's a thing. That's why coming from the contracting side, it's like, okay, what would I need as a contractor? And you start realizing that you need just as much information as on a commercial job. We just have to pare it down to residential. Commercial jobs, they have all that information. It's in the mechanical sheets.
It is.
And so I actually provide my own mechanical sheets. I take them from wrong soft and I superimpose them on there. I'll take all my tables, my mechanical schedules. I'll draw details on CAD and I'll put them on there. Like I have an M001, a 101, a 301, a 501. Wow. Like, cool. So when you get a design from me, I'm looking to make sure all that equipment fits in the mechanical space. And a lot of times I realize, hey, this mechanical room that you built, this mechanical closet, can't fit the ERV and the dehumidifier that also need to go in here. So, where are we going to put it? Well, the architect didn't give us any other room. Well, then get back with them and say, where do you suppose what would you have us do putting this mechanical equipment in here? Because architects, they'll spec all that stuff. I want an ERV, an HRV, a DHU. They want everything, but they didn't give us any space to do it. And so I just turn right back around. I'm like, here you go, genius. Where would you put all this crap? And, a lot of times all of a sudden we drop ceilings or we carve out a little bit of room and we make it happen.
It gets frustrating, man. You go to a mansion, it's like 500,000 square foot, and there's no room for the air.
Room? Yeah, you
throw me a damn freaking mechanical closet for the love of Jesus.
And cathedral ceilings. Like, where would you have me put this stuff?
Yeah, like I just went to it was like 6,000 square foot. What's that, Chris?
I was saying we'd like you to put it in the vented attic, Tim. That's where we want it.
There is no vented attic.
That's crazy.
Like, what would you have me do? No open web trusses, like solid beams everywhere. You got LVLs. You can't drill into those.
Yeah.
And like, you just got me locked in. And then they put the stairwell right in the middle of the house. And I'm going to tell you, when I see a house design with the stairwell in the middle of the house, I know if I'm running ducts in between those two floors, I am in trouble.
Yeah, you're done.
It's a no-go zone,
Yep.
Those are hard. Yeah.
You guys do hurricane trusses by you now?
They'll they put hurricane clips and
like us. Dude, I go in an attic, it's like spider webs, man. It's so many crisscrossing like.
I don't think there is like I got a stick built attic here. I got all the room in the world. And
Oh yeah, okay, dude. By my area with Miami-Dade code,
yeah.
they want to throw an air handler up there. It's like no wonder why guys are doing spaghetti monsters with the ductwork. There's so much crisscrossing, but I mean, come on. You got a 5,000 square foot house. Why am I putting an air handler in the attic? Like, come on, man.
That's it.
Give me a mechanical room for the love of God, man. So, give me the linen closet. Come on, out of the 4 linen closets, throw me one of those linen closets. Come on.
And I'll tell you another thing that I'm running into lately is people like those slotted diffusers. You know?
Yeah.
And so when you start figuring out like which one you will actually work, you got 120 CFM you're trying to throw out of one. You're going to need a 4-foot long slotted diffuser. You can't
Dude, it's
run
crazy.
that perpendicular to your joist. You got to run it parallel. So now 2 out of the 4 walls or areas of that ceiling are out of the picture. And then you got to have this thing 4 feet long. They're asking, well, wait a minute. You know, the architect said when he drew it on his little 3D rendering, it was only a foot long. I'm like, a foot long moves around 50 CFM.
Yeah.
You can't. Not going to happen. You'll have to. It'll be so loud. You'll have to turn the TV up. You'll hear the TV better outside the house than you are inside the living room. You know.
I've done a lot of those commercially, but I only did one house where it was like a lady's house where she did a lot of art, so she wanted very like contemporary house. So I put those long linear slot diffusers in the house, and they were like 36 inches long, right?
When you do the math to get the right throw and the right pressure drop, it's a lot that you got to put really big ones in there.
And man,
I did a duct leakage test for one. It was I just put it on the grapevine. It was like one of them was like 6 feet long.
Yeah.
And I'm going through like a whole roll of duct mass for this thing. I'm like, dude, it's just dropping on the floor, dude. It's a curtain of air. There's no what manual T you getting with these things?
Well, that's a problem. They'll pick these things out on some website that has no engineering data. So,
bro, nothing.
When I spec them out, I spec out like a Titus or a Hart and Cooley, a commercial.
Right.
And no, they got engineering data. I see the throw, I see the velocity, I see the pressure drop, everything you need to run manual T on it. But then they'll go to like ceiling diffusers what is it? Azerbaijan, the country, or like Afghan. They'll get something like that ran out of Afghanistan.
I believe what you meant to say, Tim, was Timu.
They'll get a Timu one too. You know, diffusersbyafghanistan.com.
Yeah.
And then and with no engineering data, and
they
probably are just knockoffs off the Titus. But I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do.
You don't know. You know,
no one
manual
Timu anymore. No one wants to see their mechanicals. They want to see
crazy.
They want to see grills. They want slot diffusers for returns. Like, how does that work? No one wants to see their mechanicals. I'm like, how stuck up are you that you want to live in a house and you want to be comfortable in the house, but you don't want to see the magic device that makes you comfortable? How stuck up are you?
You were talking about this on Amply podcast, I think, right? A little bit. I mean, we got to hide the mechanicals. Like, it's like, like gated communities around here. I can't see the condenser from the road. You got to put this bush. It's like, dude, come on. Everybody's got it. It's Florida. Everybody's got an air conditioner.
Yeah.
Relax.
I think they got it figured out, man, over in like Las Vegas. They just put it on the roof.
On the roof, just
on the roof. That's right.
I want to see it from the street and go, there it is. I paid for that.
Those guys are not ashamed. You see that? It's like Santa Claus. It's up on a roof right there.
Work up there, baby. You know.
Yeah, we put lights on that bad boy around December. I'm proud of it. You see that new train up there, buddy?
Put a Christmas tree right on top.
But I'm telling you, man, on these high-end homes, they just want to hide everything. The diffusers got to be linear slots. They got to be like 10 feet long. You can't see the faucet. You can't see the kitchen. It's just we live in these cubicles. Like it's like a hospital room. It's ridiculous. It's like, come on.
Yeah, and or you get the guy that wants the exact opposite. He wants the exposed ductwork. So now he wants it to look like, you know, some
Chipotle.
You know, like you go, Chipotle or like a brewery somewhere.
Yeah.
And you know, then I'm scared to death that the thing's going to sweat. Like I'm specking out like the double wall, double skinned, because you know, by golly, my design's not going to drop sweat on the.
That spiral pipe's costing more than the whole inverter system all put together.
My goodness, yeah. They you know, you get that guy, and then you know they want to complain about the noise. You know.
Yeah. And they're
Yeah.
going to be like, well, that seems expensive, Tim. Why does that cost so much? And it's like, well, would you like me to put single wall snap lock pipe in your exposed next to your $25,000 slab of granite? I'd be happy to if you want me to do that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man,
crazy.
it's nuts. It really is. It really is. Well, I think we're changing the needle, though. We're bringing a lot of awareness.
Yeah.
All of the groups are really getting the word out. People are getting a little bit more knowledge, but I'd like to see it move a little quick. I'm getting impatient.
I could be too far down the rabbit hole, but I got the feeling, too, that a lot more people are just educated about all of this than ever before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're getting.
The internet's good for something.
Right?
Yeah, if there's,
That and good memes, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you pull some good ones, my man.
And
Well, you got people-
crock-pot recipes. Don't forget those. You know what I mean?
You
Those are
got
very
you got
important.
like This Old House. You got Matt Reisinger. You got people like Corbett Lunsford that certain communities are watching on YouTube, and they're seeing like what a good install should look like. They're getting, they're understanding like, well, don't let your contractor do this. Ask them to do that, and that's a good thing. It's just not mainstream. Like that's just a very small portion of your homeowners, but those are the people that I want to work with. I want to work with the homeowner that's watched all of Matt Reisinger's videos because I've watched them. And
dude, I love his show. His show is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I've saved some of his videos with blower doors. So if I have like a customer has questions, I'm like, "Ooh, shoot, that's pretty good."
Yeah. I mean, I built my house, using Zip System because of all the stuff that I saw the benefits of it, and I saw that was an affordable way to tighten things up. But yeah, so I like those kind of customers, and the problem is a lot like your booger and cracker contractor, they don't like that kind of customer because that customer is going to make them feel stupid. They're going to ask questions that they don't know the answers to, or they're going to call them when they lie to them, when they try to snow them, and so they don't like that. So I'm the designer. Like I try to bridge that gap. I've crawled under crawl spaces. I've installed. I know where ducts can go, where ducts can't go. If there's a thermostat out there or a zone module out there, I've probably set it up, diagnosed it, troubleshooted it, modified it so that it works for that house. Like I know a lot of those tricks, and now I'm in the design, and I think that's what helps because I've been in both. But you need that. You need people like where you guys are at, people that have done HVAC and have seen good jobs and bad jobs, and they know the difference between setting the zone module in a way where you're going to blast a bunch of air through a damper that's supposed to be closed, or being able to set that zone module up for a little bit of distributed relief so we don't blast that air through the one that's open. Like we know how to the minutia of that, and I think that is what's getting lost. And you can't expect somebody that comes from the energy world to understand that, because they haven't been there for the commissioning.
It's tough, man.
For the diagnostics.
It really is.
They haven't run those service calls. And it would be nice if contractors didn't need designers. I would love it to be in a world where, like, my business as a designer, I'll go find something else to do. I'll just make videos for a living. But unfortunately, because contractors can't do their job, and now somebody needs a design, and we need to tell them how to install it. It's like commercial jobs, but for residential.
I think running service calls is what gives you that perspective of what's not going to work, right? Like you run tons of service calls, you go see the commissioning problems that take maybe 3 to 5 years to develop a rusty pan from water carryovers that happen a couple times during the summer. All of these weird issues that like they don't happen every day. It's not like an electrician where I didn't wire the light switch up right, it's not working. Well, somebody needs to come back out immediately and fix this. This is a brand new house. HVAC problems take time
or delays.
And service technicians get to be there's problems and
that's right.
There's an initial fix, and then there's a deep dive fix to say I can make it run right now, or I can make this never happen again. Type of fix.
And the installer always misses out on it. The installer's on the next. He's on the next install, right?
Yeah. Well,
and I tell you what, man. Once again, I hate to bring it up, but the build show nailed it again. Matt Reisinger, he had an architect on, and the architect was explaining his career, right? And he said, I really think every architect needs to have at least 2 years in the trade. and just see how a house is built. So it's kind of, he's coming from like the same view angle as we are. All of us have been in the trade. We went through it, businesses. But I'm telling you, man, some of these architects need a little one-on-one with the housing, man. It's rough.
I think you're exactly right, Chris. Running service calls where you see the weird stuff and is really helpful. I mean, most companies, most companies that are forward thinking have come to the realization that we're probably not going to get the best commissioning out of the same crew that installed the unit, especially at the end of the day. Like, just build it into your jobs to send the service tech back the next day, or send your install manager so that they're doing a quality control check and they can hold their installers accountable when they don't do something right. Because, and I see it all the time with the local company that I train. They'll send their best service tech, their nerdiest service tech out there to do a startup, and he sees all kinds of stuff wrong. He tells whoever he reports to, but it never gets back to the installer.
Right.
And they're on to the next job. And I don't think that it's fair to ask installers after a 12-hour day in an attic to, on top of that, now I need you to do a full commissioning measure quick. Like, that is a big lift.
It's messed up, man. It really is. That's too much for the guys.
I'm glad you're saying it, because I totally agree. Like, we have got
too much
of the one day everything happens no matter than what mentality, and we are stuck there.
Yeah. We got to change it, man.
It's a little bit of greed, because, if we can sell that next job and we can get them on a fresh job,
it's all about them 4 quarters every day, baby. 4 quarters.
I had my wife hand me my coffee cup off camera.
Baby.
Yeah.
Woo! Now it's getting real.
Yeah.
All right, with that being said, give me 1 second. I'm gonna do a share screen for you here, Tim.
Okay.
Tim, does that share? There you go. Tell us
for $1 a day. Can you break it down to me? How much it would be per day for this class?
Let's see, 40. I guess we would need 40 days. You're gonna need 400 quarters.
There you go. 400 quarters, man. Just figure in your price, right?
That's it.
Yes. So
it's cheap.
This is.
He's giving it away. He's not making any money on this.
People have told me that, and what I make money on is the volume of people that sign up for these classes. I'm trying to make it as accessible as it can for your average service tech, your junior service tech, your maintenance tech. Maybe isn't making a lot right now. $40, you can start learning how to diagnose duct design problems, design brand new duct systems. We're going to talk about the manual D process, try to figure out what your fixture rate actually is instead of using the rules of thumb. And then how we diagnose using TrueFlow Grid, and that's Chris has got some cool stuff coming up with that. So
what a tool!
I appreciate that. It's going to be for the service technician. This is your introduction into duct design. So we're going to start with what we want out of a duct system. We want it to be comfortable. We don't want it to be noisy. We want it. We don't want to blow air on people. And then all the way to how do we figure out what our friction rate actually is? Then what do we do with it? And then how do we work backwards? How do we go into a duct system that's already installed? We don't know what that friction rate is. How do we diagnose what's wrong with it and what part of it's wrong with it? Is it the main trunk that's too small? Are the branches too small? Just real life service call stuff, service calls that we've all ran. That's what we're going to be getting into. So it's a 3-hour class in Zoom, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, $40 per person. And everybody gets a recording of the class. So even if you can't attend live, if you're on the West Coast, you're still working.
That's cool.
The next day, you get a link to be able to watch that recording and for life. I just put it up. It's a unlisted YouTube video, so just you with the link can watch it. So you still got.
That's a good idea.
And then afterwards, like after the class is done at 9 o'clock, we after we're done, we have what I call happy hour. So anybody that wants to stick around, we'll have a drink. We'll tell some war stories. We'll talk some trash, do a lot about what we're doing here, ask questions for about an hour or so. So that's sort of like a little freebie. Just trying to make it accessible, man. Yeah, I could, there's people that want to charge 10 times that much for that kind of class. I want to make it accessible. There's no reason. There's no excuse for not being able to get this training under your belt.
Yeah, and I will add one extra thing to that, Tim. You probably won't become at your best after one training, right? But it's a great place to get started. But one thing you do is I've seen you do in that class, I've said through it, is you give really good resources to follow up and say, hey, if I want to learn more about this topic, here's the people I go see, whether that's the National Comfort Institute or, hey, you need to be following Ty Brandeman's content, who's here right now in the chat, right? You help guide people to where they need to go to continue their roadmap. Some of that may be more of your classes, some of it, but you know, I'm saying just sharing knowledge of where to go and where to get it.
Yeah, I mean, we can't possibly teach duct design in 3 hours. If it was that easy, then we wouldn't be sitting here talking about the disconnect.
There would be no need. Yeah,
like there's more to it, but man, we're gonna make some connections in your brain between what you've seen and what the math really does. And you know, there's software that does it. I always encourage people to use software. WrongSoft is a really great piece of software for
love WrongSoft.
Once you
you know why I like the software? Because I feel like I'm 17 again. When I log on that app.
1995, yeah.
Oh,
something a little bit more modern. You can use Quick Model, which Russ King is also a partner in my trainings, and I love using.
What's
Quick
that?
Model.
Is that the 3D software?
That's 3D, yeah. So there's some really good tools out there. But even if you just had to sketch it out on a napkin, like we could do a duct design on a napkin and get pretty darn close to where our friction rate needs to be, and then we could set that duct wheel to that friction rate, and we can take off with the design, and that's the real world. Like I would love for everybody to use like the true manual D process, exactly how Ed Jonawak would teach it. But the reality is, until we get people to that, we want them to start at least doing some of the steps in between, and maybe they'll eventually get there. But I'm real excited, and I appreciate you, Chris, for being a partner of that. For sure.
Yeah, man, happy to do so. I think we've got some secret sauce we're gonna drop down in that class at the end, man.
Yeah, I got a preview of it at the Heat Pump Summit, so good stuff. Good stuff coming.
Right on, man. Not saying that here, saving that for later. You know what I mean? Right.
Hey, do you still have my stickers that I left at your booth over at the Heat Pump Summit? I left like a pack of stickers, or do they get
I don't,
gone?
Man. I don't.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I forgot to get them from you.
There might be like a case somewhere. They're buried. Just I have no idea.
I don't know whether you like take the same stuff and you bring it to show, like whether you'll have it.
Kinda.
But yeah. Oh, we'll see.
You would like to think we're insanely organized when we go to booth, but not so much. It's like we pack the day before, we pack heavy, and then we haul it, and then we set it up, and at the end, it's like, let's get the hell out of here, and everything goes boom, and you go, right?
No, that's cool. Well, you did say that there was like a stalker of mine that showed up to the Heat Pump Summit booth, and you were like,
man, yeah,
that's me. I'm the number one fan right here.
I was avoiding that booth. Like I needed to get my stickers back, but I also did not want to have to deal with the stalkers.
You had some fans, man. You had some fans.
Yeah,
they wanted some Tim. You know what I mean?
And with the manual T.
If you'd have showed up though, then you'd have had to give your 3-hour class for free right there at the booth. You know,
that's
that'd have been painful.
That would have been. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So controls, man. Controls, we talked about, man, where haven't we gone? You know, we talked about the pain point of controls, the pain point
I think
of
it's commissioning. I think it's like, let's say, for example, I spec a Fantech MUAS system, makeup air.
So you're saying we're going into ventilation now.
Yeah, like how do you make
62.2?
How do you set up the ventilation? You know, someone can just hook up a fresh air duct and they can put it to a motor and they can wire it to G. That's not how I designed the unit. Like, and how much air is it pulling in? Should it run every time the fan comes on? Should it not? And now, like, I do a lot of designs where I'm speccing the Haven system. Well, there's a whole bunch of.
Oh, I love you always throwing the Haven in, man. I'm so jealous.
And there's a lot of options there to set things up.
Yeah.
And you can really mess something up. You know, what if
I get so lazy when I'm out there with the Santa Fe. I'm like, man, I'm thinking about you. I'm like, man, I should be throwing a Haven. I feel like Kevin Hart's like angry at me all the way from Ontario, and I'm like, oh man, I forgot to spec the Haven in there, man.
So
I'm slacking, bro. Encourage the boys.
Yeah, and you know, like a makeup air unit that comes on when your kitchen hood comes on. Okay,
yeah.
Well, you know, how do we set it to make sure that's balanced in low speed and in high speed? There's a whole commissioning process that's in that manual. And if we read the manual, we wouldn't need me. But because we don't, like, I need to put some guidance in there to be able to set it up correctly. Because if you just wire it up, set it up, turn it on, and I got hot air coming out the top of my outdoor unit, and walk away, that's not even a startup, much less commissioning. And the design intent has been lost. There's a huge disconnect in that sort of thing.
Tim, I kind of
sorry, the fire department's next door.
When we get into the fire department's next door,
bro, I don't know what's going on, my neighbor.
I mean, you should probably go over there and drop your business card. That's a job waiting to happen. Just saying.
I texted the neighbor's number to my wife, so hopefully they got taken care of.
So, man, I look at your shirt and it says HVAC isn't that hard, right? But here's what I'd say. When the V comes into play on HVAC,
dude,
it gets kind of hard.
It gets tricky.
Well, the back of the shirt has the psychrometric chart. So the back of the shirt is pretty much that, and it says also HVAC. So, if you just read the front, it look like a douchebag that is trying to downplay how hard HVAC is. But the back of the shirt is, no, HVAC actually is hard because you got to deal with that too. But, when you introduce ventilation, there's a bunch of different ways to ventilate a house, man. And
that's the hardest part, in my opinion. And
I think spot ventilate. The Haven's like the way to go, man. Like, dude, if nobody's in the house, why are we ventilating? That's the way to go.
Over Thanksgiving break, I was in Georgia visiting in-laws, and I looked at my Haven, and nothing was running. My need to ventilate the house because I wasn't in there farting, so there was the methane levels were normal. I wasn't in there breathing. The CO2 was level. The VOCs were normal. Like, all those things were normal. Why would we bring in fresh air? But unless we're I'm going to say probably, and I know this is a good place for hot takes, I think ASHRAE 62.2 is stupid. I think constant ventilation.
Bam! You heard it here, baby.
Don't lecture me on ventilation when you allow fart fans to ventilate your house and pull the house into a negative.
Exactly.
Don't lecture me on what proper ventilation is. And when in this day and age, when you have ventilation on demand, not only Haven, there's other controllers out there that are bringing it on, and we don't have to ventilate the house and introduce all this energy into the house, so we have to somehow get
it costs money, man.
Why is 62.2 still a thing? And I posed that question at Building Science Summer Camp, and the guy that's on that, the ASHRAE committee or whatever, he was like, that's a really good point. And then that was it. It was like, that's a really good point, but we don't plan on doing anything about it. So
he said, have a good night
out there. I think the ASHRAE 62, it's too much air, and sometimes it's not enough.
Yeah.
I would much rather see
it's
the capability of higher airflow, but on demand.
This guy's asking too many questions, honey. Let's get a lobster and go. Let's get out of here.
A friend of ours is in here, Cody Brasil, who is a good friend of mine, and he impresses me all the time with doing he's in the doing the track home game, big scale, right? That's like the hardest market I think to play in. He does it.
Cody's awesome, man.
For that, he's like one of the most impressive people that I know. And he has to do the 62.2 thing for those builds in all of these houses. And it's like when I think about what he has, that challenge that he has to face for every single one of those homes. One, scares me to death, but two, he's kind of figuring out these ways to kind of manage it, but he's also got to manage it in a very economical way, right? Because he can't do what you would do for
the money's tight, man.
Yeah,
money's tight.
Go to a custom home and say, well, you need this, and you're going to give me $8,000.
I faced the same thing. I was doing Energy Star homes in my last business, and we had a mechanical, fan powered ventilator that was bringing in that air through a metallic filter. That's all that was in there. And you could set it up. It was a Honeywell. They now have just a damper that has that same control. And you could set it out to lock it out when a dew point was so high. But if you live in a climate like mine or yours, Mikey, when will you ventilate? If you set it up where, I don't want you to ventilate when it's over 70 degrees dew point outside.
Yeah.
When are you planning on ventating? That is
62 to my ass, I mean, never.
Approved. And, I was, and finally I told him, I was like, look, every job now is going to get a ventilating dehumidifier that you're going to pay me for, or I'm going to walk, because I'm tired of handling these humidity problems on my dime. And
you sound like Scott Brand in our group. Scott Brand's he's like, that's it. I'm doing it my way or the highway. That's it.
Yeah, and for me, it was a highway. It was the best move ever. They found another HVAC that was dumb enough to get bullied by them, and I went on to bigger and better things.
That's right. That's right. And
play
I talked to
games
Scott
if
for
you don't
hours on it, man. Yeah, and the lawsuits come.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's a tough world for Cody to be in. I mean, that is a rock and a
That's a
hard
tough world.
place, and I applaud
Yeah.
him for being able to manage that because
Yeah.
He does well.
yeah.
So Tim,
not easy.
I know we're getting close to the
Yeah.
time marker here, but I got to ask you, man. Could you tell me your favorite controls and ventilation strategy? Like, walk me through your process. What do you like to do for that?
I like a ventilating dehumidifier. And now with the the Santa Fe V series dehumidifiers, they
they're nice.
handle more outside air than the old ones did.
Oh, really?
Can you
The-
tell
the-
me a little bit about that? I haven't looked into it yet. When you say can
They
handle
have-
more, should we talk?
So from a psychrometric standpoint, they can now handle more outside air that will not overwhelm the coil and bring the coil too far, close to the dew.
Wow.
So if you throw too much heat and humidity on an evaporator coil, what happens? Your coil temperature goes up. Well, it goes up to a point where you're no longer wringing water out of the air. You're just doing sensible work. So now their technologies, they have 5 coils stacked, like one after the other, and they got a powerful plug-style fan that can just suck the air right through those coils, and they can handle it. So now we can bring in, out of the total amount of airflow, we can bring in 40 to 45% of that from the outside. So now
that's
we're in
cool.
the territory
Wow,
where a 155 pint dehumidifier can pull in over 100 CFMs, whereas before I couldn't. And maybe you were sizing a dehumidifier not for the humidity load, but for the outside air that you had to bring in.
Wow.
So I like doing that because here's the thing about ERVs. An ERV is not a dehumidifier. Where's the drain line on it? It is not removing humidity.
That's
You have
what
a
I'm
net
saying.
gain
Where's
of humidity.
the condensate drain line on
You
an
still have
AME?
to have a dehumidifier anyway, so why don't we have a dehumidifier that does both? And if the house is tight enough, you're actually putting a slight positive on the house. Not all houses are tight enough to do that. Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but at least in theory, we're pushing conditioned air out instead of creating this balance situation where a little gust of wind definitely bring in moisture into
And
the
you don't
house.
have to worry about radon. It's a little positive pressure. You don't have to worry about other
then
stuff.
Ventilation on demand. So I am pulling in outside air when I have a VOC event, when I have a CO2 event, a radon event. These humidifiers have a MERV 13 fan, so I can bring them up, MERV 13 filter. I can bring them up and I can turn on the air handler with a MERV 13 filter, start cleaning up the air. And then
dude, that April Air had a MERV 8 washable. I'm like, oh my god, get this thing out of here. It's garbage.
How do you like to duck the? If a homeowner said do whatever you want to do, how do you like to duck your ventilating dehum? Direct or
Right now,
them?
Right now, if I have control over how to size the duct and I can have a low static pressure duct, I'll dump the supply of the dehu back into the HVAC supply. But at my house, I've flipped my dehumidifier around. And those videos are Hot Rod Bosch on my YouTube page. And now,
dude, those are some crazy videos, bro.
I got cold air blowing from my supply duct. It's getting sucked in by my dehumidifier. My dehumidifier is taking that cold air, and what's it got to do? It's all latent. The sensible is already there. The air is already at dew point, and I'm delivering 39 degree dew point air back into the return of my Bosch unit. Yes, is it hot air? Well, no, it's not hot air. Because I'm putting in 55 degree air in, I'm putting out like 75 or 80.
Air.
That's not hot air. But
Wait a
even
minute.
if it was,
Chris, he's got a crazy dampener that pulls air from the attic. Dude, it's why watch all the videos, bro? It's crazy.
I haven't seen the videos, but
You're 5 hours behind, Chris. You need time.
I am behind the curve. Timeout.
Yep.
Are you telling me that you are trying out a new strategy for installing a dehum where you are actually pumping the supply cold air, which, I get it. There's a lot of moisture to be wringed out because it can't, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the time to get it if you can.
Yeah.
You're pumping that into the dehum and then pushing the dehum air into the return of the air conditioner.
No static pressure losses. No static pressure losses. And my air is already at saturation. So what else is there to do? It's all latent, baby. We're not doing sensible.
And you're still pulling randomly. You're pulling air from the attic too. You still doing that?
Is this a ventilating
thing.
dehum at this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, when I ventilate,
are you doing
when
a
I ventilate
air from with the coming in from the supply? How are you? How are you not?
I
having
have control
supply
dampers.
pushed back?
Well, I have control damper. So when I need to ventilate, the damper closes that came from my supply, and it opens to my outdoor. And now I'm pulling 100% outside air into my dehumidifier.
Like a DOAS, bro. Like a DOAS.
But then above a certain outdoor temperature and humidity, I lock that out because now we're not, the dehumidifier.
Right.
Dehumidifier. And then at that point, I just let my Bosch unit handle it because the Bosch unit's probably running a lot anyway.
Okay.
Dude, he's like Michael Hausch with the controls, bro.
First, that's the first time I've ever heard that, and that's very clever. Two,
check it out.
But that's on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
My second question here is, if you do that and you make it like a DOAS, how much CFM can this dehum pull through?
Well, Nikki says it goes up, right? Because it's the hotter air coming in, right?
Well, hold on. Hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm assuming the dehumidifier is moving, 200 CFM?
Well, I got a little 70, so it moves around 90.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, that's not enough airflow volume to do what I'm thinking. Like I know your house is tight, but like if you were pumping in 200 CFM of air nonstop as a DOAS, I think you would get to a point that the house could be just a little bit too pressurized, right?
Yeah,
where you might get to
totally
where the doors are, and now you're dealing with a relief damper or something.
Right.
And I was wanting to know, how the hell are you dealing with that?
But if you think about it, what are the relief dampers in the house? Are they not the dampers on the fart fans?
Yeah, he's got 2 fart fans, right? And a kitchen.
Yeah, but I guess I guess
and a kitchen one. Yeah.
He's thinking about it. And the light bulb went off.
Light bulb did go off. I've caught up to you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah.
That's smart.
That's it. And now, even the laundry, his laundry exhaust.
Yeah,
I gotta know, how long has it been running like that? And are you seeing any wear and tear?
What are you there, like 3 years now?
Are you seeing any like rust around the screws or anything like that, or it's in a conditioned space, so it's
my attic is this only works in a dry attic because that first half of the dehumidifier up to the evaporator coil before your reheat coil is going to be really, really cold because you're pulling in 55-degree air and then you're cooling it before you reheat it. So there's a very specific, but it's working in my house. I flipped it around probably late summer, so I want to get a full summer working on it. And I know I avoided all my warranties, but that's okay.
Yeah,
like,
who cares?
That's all right. We know Nikki Kruger. We're good.
Yeah,
I think we're all beyond that point of our life for worrying about.
Yeah.
So
I love that case study. That case study on reheat, bro. Beautiful. Yeah. We owe you. The community.
And I owe a certain house whisperer for pissing me off to the point where I just had to piss him off.
What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, bro. Sometimes the fire is good,
Yeah.
Sometimes a little heat. Yeah, I mean, dude, we went to town with that reheat subject, bro. We really knocked that out.
Tell you about that.
I'm just gonna throw if you're not watching Tim's content, you should be. Like, because Tim's like obviously breaking new ground here, dude. I mean, Tim, dude, kudos to you, dude. You're like
Tim's killing it, bro.
I don't have hobbies, man.
Took it up a notch.
I don't have hobbies.
That's it.
None of us do, bro.
HVAC.
Yeah, that's it.
And I love the Amply podcast, bro. I got to hear the whole backstory. You got to catch up on that one too, Chris. I'll send you a link.
Yeah.
You know what? Adam McCoy wanted us to put the link for the class one more time. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that.
Okay. Yeah. Mike, can you do that? Do that for me.
I'll put it. You know what I'll do is I'll put it in the link below when we get done recording.
Go to the HVAC Grapevine group. We'll post it there right after the show.
Yeah.
That's
it.
I can throw it in the chat real quick.
Yeah, let's leave the show open long enough, Tim. If you want to, let's throw it in the chat so people can find it. Support this man, bro. He's cutting edge, giving us new ideas.
Come on,
digging this one.
Yeah, we got over 100 people signed up for the class already.
Nice.
Right.
When you show up, turn your camera on. It is an interactive class. I want people to answer questions.
Wear pants.
Pants are good.
But
And we're gonna have a great time. The link's up there now. So
it's in the private chat. Hang on.
Oh crap! Sorry.
Hang on. I got it.
Oh my god! I missed the entire comments thing here.
The people are watching.
Yeah.
Oh
Sophie's
shit!
Here. Hey Sophie.
Let me see.
Co-presenting with me at the symposium, by the way. Sophie Ashley.
Soph's in here. All right.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, I gotta.
All right, it's in the chat. There we go.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Tim, man, dude, thanks for coming on, dude. This was a killer fun show.
Yeah, come back on, bro. Come on.
Let's do it again, and I'll see everybody at the symposium, if not sooner.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
absolutely.
Yeah. Sophie, Ashley, and I are presenting. The title of our presentation is "Do," as in DEW. Do you get the point? A little play on words about dew point. We're going to talk about dew point design, dew point and troubleshooting, how to think about dew point, and it's going to be a little bit of slapstick comedy. Not going to ruin it, but going to be a little bit of a Three Stooges slapstick comedy built into it.
Nice.
We love it. We love it.
Man, can't wait for it. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, brother.
The videos are coming.